Hello friends and welcome to the RaoMoon Oracle. I'm Rao and today we are starting a new little series I'm calling the Spirit Advice series. This one specifically is going to be the Spirit Advice Animal Kingdom and Chapter 1. There'll probably be about like 5 or so chapters in the Animal Kingdom set specifically, so I'm super excited to get started with this series. The point of this one is to really connect with the animal energy, spirit animals, totem animals, that kind of energy, because there's a lot of advice and power and energy that you can use when connecting with animal spirit energy. So today we have 12 different cards, 12 different animals, both real life animals and mystical kind of fantasy animals that you can connect with today and see what advice they have for you. So we'll hop over to our groups in just a second here, but there's going to be 12 different cards for you to pick from using your intuition, whatever way you kind of connect with energy. So you'll get to see and connect with an animal, get some really good advice hopefully. I'll give you some descriptions of the animal, what that animal means on a spiritual level, and we'll go from there. So let's hop over to our groups now and get started. I'll see you there. Hello everyone and welcome to the pick a card portion of this reading. So we have 12 cards here in front of us, and under each card is going to be a different animal spirit for you to connect with. So if you are not interested in seeing what your animal is until you pick the group, this is going to be your portion for this section of the video. So starting at the top here, this is a row 1 and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Row number 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8. Then last row number 3, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll have the numbers up there as well so you can see which one is which, and you can connect and go to that portion of the video. If you do want to see the animals, keep watching and then I'll show a reveal here and then you can connect specifically with an animal. But if you want, you can just look at your number or your card here, see which card draws you in, or maybe the number in particular, and jump to that section of the video, and then your animal will be revealed to you at that point. So use your intuition, muscle test, pendulum, whatever method you use in order to connect and see what energy you are needing to hear and interact with today. So to pause the video if you need to, take whatever time you need. If you need to, jump to that second portion here right after this section to see the animals if you need to connect a little bit further, a little bit deeper. And then join me in your section of the video when you are ready. I'll see you there. Bye. Hello, welcome to the revealed portion of our animal spirit advice. So group number 1 over here is going to be the beaver. Group number 2 is the phoenix. Group number 3 is the peacock. Group number 4 is the sea serpent, and that finishes out row 1. Row number 2 starts with the dolphin over here for group number 5. Group number 6 is the cheetah. Group number 7 is the crocodile. Group number 8 is the owl. That's the second row, and then our last row, row number 3 here. So group number 9 is our firefly. Group number 10 is the dragon. Group number 11 is the earthworm, and group number 12 is the dragonfly. So these are our animals that we have for this video. So there'll be more videos down the line with different animals to interact with. So just see what you're feeling for today. There might be the theme of the day, potentially the week or month or year, depending. That's going to be up to you and your intuition here. So just connect with whatever animal is calling to you today, and join me in your section of the video when you are ready. I'll see you there. Hello, group number 1. So in case you didn't figure out your animal yet already, you have, drumroll please, the beaver. So beaver energy is a very hardworking, dedicated energy. The beaver creates these dams in the river in order to build a structure, a home for itself, its mate, and then its offspring. So these dams that they build are sometimes super intricate and huge with all these different tunnels and paths through. So they have all these means of safety, protection that they've built through very, very dedicated work. The amount of work a beaver has to put in order to build these things is kind of crazy. Actually, the trees that they have to fell, they had dragged them into the river. They build up this structure over time. They have more trees that fall so that they have food through the hard times, through the winters. A lot of energy goes into this, but they build something really, really stable and strong. In terms of natural resources, which is a little bit of my area of expertise because I have a bachelor's in it, beavers are a very important animal to the ecosystem because they change up the dynamics in the water. So they make those rivers flow differently because they dam them up, they block them up. So that gives more habitat to fish, to fisheries, for fish to grow in. That changes up. Those like felled trees are used by other animals that eat the trees, such as like deer and moose. So much like the beaver does so much. I think the word's keystone species, if I remember correctly, because they have a very specific place in the ecosystem, in the structure of the ecosystem and biological diversity, and they benefits the environment they're in so much. So think of that when you think of beaver, right? So somebody that is very key, the energy of a beaver, you being in that beaver energy, you're very key to a lot of things in your life, and to relationships and family and your job. You're a very key and central piece to it. So it might not be, you might not think that you are super important or intricate, but you actually are in this case. It's super important, the work you do, the amount of things you put work and time and effort into it. So the beaver energy also talks about all that hard work going in, right? And it doesn't, like, it takes a lot of work in order to get to that final like finished product, that safety, that stability, right? We're really talking about like that career and finance energy coming in with the beaver here. So super important there, and the beaver is very family oriented as well. So that connection to family, building stability for the family in terms of career and finances, and just general stability, right? So having that safe home environment, being able to afford all the food and means, everything you need in your life. So if you don't feel like you have the beaver energy in your life right now, if you don't feel like this describes you potentially, stuff you're already doing, you might need to put in more work. That might be kind of the energy that you need. You need more beaver energy in your life, where it's like, okay, let's put in more hard work. Let's put in more effort. It's not going to be, it won't show up right away. All the work you're putting in won't show up right away and pay off for you, but you keep working at it, keep building it, keep growing it, and eventually you're going to have something that, again, that's really key, that changes up everything all at once, right? So you think of the river and the beaver building up the dam in the river, right? The water's still flowing like normal for a very long time, until eventually this dam gets big enough and strong enough that the water changes completely. It changes up either the direction of its flow, or it changes up how it moves through the rest of the river in the first place, because that's to move more slowly. It'll completely change directions and move to a different spot. So it can flow out consistently how it wants to. So that's just a lot of that energy there, where it's like, okay, just keep building, keep pushing, keep growing, keep making it bigger, keep putting in the effort and the work, and you'll see the changes eventually. If you feel like you have too much beaver energy in life, or you've been doing this too much, you might need to look at the reasons why you are putting in all this work and effort, what the purpose of it is. Because beaver specifically really calls to that family element again, that family dynamic, that stability. So if you're doing it for a different reason than building up your stability and your home life and taking care of yourself and your family, that might be where you're getting a little bit of blockage for your beaver energy. If you're not coming at it from that more selfless family dynamic. So just specifically for beaver energy, maybe the way you are working is not, it's not a bad thing necessarily, the way you're working and putting in the effort for your energy, but in terms for beaver energy specifically, and you connecting with this energy in this group, the reasons why you are moving forward, the reasons why you're putting in all this hard work and effort maybe need to be re-examined, and doing it for a little bit of a different reason and a different purpose. So that way that energy can flow like the river properly as it's changed up by that beaver dam. So group number 1, hopefully that resonates with you. If you feel like you need to, feel free to pick another animal in this reading, or further down the line, if I haven't posted them already, there's going to be more animal videos like this in the series. So there might be another animal you connect to in a different video. So feel free to check those out as well. But that's all I have for you, group number 1, my beaver group. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. So in case you don't know already or haven't figured it out, drum roll, your card, your animal is the phoenix, one of our mystical animals in this deck specifically and part of the animal world. So phoenixes, probably most famously you might have seen them in Harry Potter with Fawkes the Phoenix, companion to Albus Dumbledore. That phoenix, you have a real strong energy here with the animal spirit energy. Phoenix is highly transformational. So you might be in that transformation point in your life right now where things are completely changing. It's kind of inevitable, like all this, there's that fire, everything's burning away. Phoenix also really talks about coming in, like that spiritual evolution, that growth process. So you coming to a realization potentially of things that are not working in your life anymore, things that are keeping you stuck and stagnant and painful potentially. And you've come to the point where you're ready to transform, you're ready to change, you're ready to let that go. And it's a death process as well. So you're ready to let that thing die, you're ready to let it burn away so you can come back reborn, refreshed, anew, and ready to start a new process in your life. That phoenix energy, so much fire, obviously, right? So fire, very, very transformational, highly spiritual energy. Phoenix really, in this deck specifically, connects really back to the root chakra. So again, that stability, that grounding, that essence of who we are. Those really, really deep, deep essences, those like down to the core, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. And Phoenix energy really calls for you to remember that, get back to that, and burn away all the rest. Burn away the baggage, burn away the stress, burn away the anything that doesn't matter in that like arena, right? Anything that is not serving you for that higher purpose, that higher calling. So a phoenix process too is constant. It's a consistent process. So you'll go through, if you have a lot of phoenix energy in your life, you're going to go through this process multiple times in your life. I definitely feel like this myself sometimes, where it feels like I can pinpoint points in my life almost where it's like, this is a new transformation. This is a new point in my life where I've gone through this phoenix transformation as well. So keep that in mind as you're working through this group number 2, my phoenix group here. Really, you're just in one part of it. You're going to go through this again and again and again. And that's a good thing, actually. This is a really, really good thing. That phoenix lifespan, right? They are born out of flames, grow up into this old bird, and then burst into flames, and then from those ashes a new bird arises again. It's the same bird, same energy, but reborn again and again and again. So just keep in mind that this is going to keep happening to you. So you're just in this new part again, and really get into this energy, really just kind of embrace it and know that it's going to happen, and really try and work with it. Again, in death processes, I'm thinking of the death card specifically in tarot. If we try and resist that death process, that transformation, it's just going to be painful. It's going to happen anyway. So it really is more to your benefit to go with the flow. Go with the flow, go with this transformation, let what needs to burn away, what needs to die, let that happen, encourage it and flow with it, and then you'll be born anew and you'll have all this room for growth again. And that's kind of the important part. Fire itself is very important in those aspects. I think of like a forest fire, right? When forest fire is working very naturally in its ecosystem, it helps burn away all the overgrown underbrush, trees that need to die, that they've lived their life out, so they're ready to move forward on, that all that burns away, and then all this new life and growth can come out of it. So you see areas that have been burned in a forest fire that have been cleared out within a year or two. All these sproutlings, all these little seedlings start sprouting out because there's specific plants that are primed and ready and are supposed to grow in those disturbed areas, in those fire areas. So think of this phoenix energy, this burn in your life, everything burning out, laying down that foundation and soot and nutrients for lots of new things that are ready to grow. All those seeds are in the ground already, just waiting for the right environment for them to sprout. So this phoenix energy, you clearing away all that underbrush, all the things that don't matter, all that baggage, burning it out, clearing it out, is going to open up that space for all that new growth. And that's a constant phoenix transformation energy. So whether or not you're about to get into it, you've already gone through it, it's just a continuous process in your life. And that's going to be very, very important for you to remember. it can be a very fun energy if you want it to be, actually. I'm smiling and kind of happy about the thought for whatever new growth you might have happen in your life. I'm in my mind's eye, I'm seeing all those little seedlings, right? And I can see them in the ground and that are just ready and ready to sprout up as soon as they get the opportunity. And that's super exciting, all that new growth that you're going to have in your life very, very shortly here, group number 2. So I know it can be hard. Death processes are always very, very hard in their own way, but if you embrace it, it'll go a little bit easier. It'll feel a little bit more smooth, and then you'll get to reap all the benefits of that new growth as well. So group number 2, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that resonates. Get ready for lots of transformation in your life, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 3. In case you didn't figure it out yet, your card, drum roll, is the Peacock. So, Peacock card, Peacock energy. Very, very strong visually, right? There's lots of show, lots of color and energy coming out just visually from looking at it. And this is specifically the masculine energy. Birds out in nature, the male bird tends to be a lot more colorful, a lot more visually something to look at, because that is what attracts the female in this case. So the female birds tend to be a little bit more plain looking potentially, and then the male bird of that species is very colorful, lots of vibrant energy. There's particular dances and mating rituals associated with birds. So very interesting energy for peacock here. Peacock energy, spirituality, very associated with a lot of like wisdom and knowledge, because you see all those eyes and the feathers. So those eyes showing up in the peacock feathers, really representing that like intuition, that higher knowledge, wisdom, and seeing things. And with all this knowledge and wisdom comes a higher level of acceptance that the peacock has. That's described in one of the descriptions of books I have, and another one talking about that wisdom piece. So the peacock energy, peacocks are a really, really strong bird. I know at my zoo here in Denver, they just walk around everywhere. They just kind of have them free roaming, and they're kind of a scary, intimidating bird. They're a very, very powerful creature. Females especially a lot more protective, have a lot of power behind them, but the peacocks don't give a shit in a lot of ways too, because they just have a full acceptance of life and who they are and what they're about, right? And it's on full display at the same time. So all that internal beauty, internal energy, power and wisdom showing up very visually, very big, and like that big tail, right? So that full show of all the knowledge and wisdom, power that the bird has itself. Those peacocks are there. It's said to that they'll like poisonous snakes or whatever. They'll just kick them and peck them. They don't care. So a lot of strong energy for you, group number 3 with the peacock. So advice wise, it might be telling you this card might have shown up in your life because you have all this talent and ability and energy behind you, but you're not showing it off. It's peacock wants you to show it off. In this case, it's like, okay, put it on display, show what you're about, show that you have all of this, because you're not being arrogant about it. The peacock just is, right? That's just how they display things. That's just how they are as a being, as a energy. So it's not arrogant to display your talent. It's not arrogance to show that you have these abilities and things to do, as long as you're just coming at it from a place of acceptance and you're doing your thing, you're doing what you know, doing what you're capable of doing. And if that ends up being a lot more than other people and stronger than other people, then so be it, right? That's just that you just have that ability, and you should not lessen yourself or dull your color and your vibrancy because of judgment of others. So that might be some of that advice coming up for peacock here. There's not really like too much peacock energy potentially. It's just like the way you do things, right? The way you present yourself. So you might be a little bit too cocky versus confident. So you just want to kind of dial it back, right? Again, peacock is really talking about that level of acceptance and handling life and just accepting life how it comes in any aspect. So that positive or negative, good or bad, struggles and easy things, all of it, and all of that pieces in between. So just to reevaluate your life, right? So you come at everything from a place of acceptance. You have all these wonderful things to show the world too, but so does everybody else. So come at it from a place of acceptance, accepting yourself, accepting others as well. You can show off every skill that you have, but maybe pull those out of others as well. Show everybody else how to have some of this peacock energy, to show off the skills that they have, the abilities, the talent, because it's going to benefit the world as a whole, right? It's going to benefit everybody if everybody has is confident in who they are and knows what they want to offer the world and knows what they can offer, have in themselves and the offer out. So very, very strong energy in that case. Or just like, okay, hey, you have all this wisdom and knowledge because you can see a lot of things. That's those tail feathers, and with all the eyes and the end of the feathers right there, you can see a lot of things. You have a lot of wisdom behind you. Group number 3 with this peacock energy. So use it for benefit, use it for good, use it to show off who you are, because you have a lot that you can provide and show the world, and encourage others to do the same. And to you being confident in who you are, you being confident in your skills and your abilities, gives other people confidence as well to do the same. You showing off your journey, showing off who you are and how you got there will encourage others to do the same as well. And that's really cool, and that's really exciting. So just be very, very strong in that. Be very accepting, and keep coming. Accept life as it is, because everything's a teaching, learning opportunity. So that's all I have for you, group number 3 of this peacock energy. Hopefully it resonates and makes sense to you. Feel free to pick another animal if you want. There'll be more videos coming up down the line too, where there's a lot more animal energy to connect to. So this will be a continuous process where it's like just whatever animal energy you maybe need for the day. And today it's peacock. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 4. So in case you didn't figure it out yet, your card is the sea serpent. So one of the more mystical kind of fantasy animals. So depends on kind of how you're looking at, but specifically this one is one of the spirit cards out of the spirit animal spirit deck. So the sea serpent, there are serpents that do like live in the sea. There are like sea snakes out there. Sea serpent specifically can kind of refer to more of those like sea monster type ones. Snakes are pretty common in that regard as well. A lot of snakes live their life both in the water and out of the water. I think of something like the boa, right, where it's like, okay, a lot of those snakes can swim. You wouldn't think so, but snakes can swim. So that's kind of an interesting energy there for you, specifically group number 4. So our sea serpent energy is very, very strong in the aspects of like creativity, creation, rebirth, regrowth, like growth. That process is kind of constant for a snake, where the snake is shedding its own skin. You definitely see with snake energy, the snake biting its own tail, kind of representative of that process of infinity, that circle of life, all that kind of like constantly moving energy. The snake also, in terms of like yoga, the kundalini, there's that they call the snake like rising up through. So that's like that energy of growth, that energy of movement. The way a snake moves is very, very interesting compared to a lot of animals, right? So for sea serpents showing up in your life, definitely there's a call to the creativity, the emotions. The sea serpent definitely living in the sea, though that water element's coming through with this card, with this animal specifically, in the energy it's carrying. So connecting to your emotions, connecting to that deeper state of being, your who you are, your emotional state, and how that pans out for you in the larger picture of life in terms of like your creativity and what you're offering out into the world, what you're offering from yourself, from your deepest states of yourself out into the world, being that authentic, true version of yourself. There's a lot of healing in this card as well. That water element again coming back through, that healing energy there, because water is very cleansing. The sea serpent's living its life in the water, constant process of healing and rebirth and growth again, coming out in that energy. So there might be areas in your life in terms of like emotions where there's things you need to heal in yourself. There's things that you need to heal in order to help be the authentic version of yourself and bring your creativity back out, bring those creation aspects of yourself back out. So In the world, it's like you get bogged down a lot. Your emotional state can get bogged down pretty easily with the state of the world currently, with society, just in your personal life. There's a lot of things that definitely try and knock us down repeatedly. So the sea serpent coming out for you, group number 4, is just asking you to keep healing yourself, keep taking that time to heal yourself and like clean your wounds, make sure they're going to heal properly so that way they don't get like infected. Take care of yourself, take care of those scars, honor yourself, honor your process, honor your healing, honor your growth. So that way you can keep creating, keep growing, and continue this circle of life that's going for you. That creation energy, if you see in the center of the card too, there's kind of that like egg eye in the center of this card specifically. So that, again, that calling back into that creation energy. You think of the egg in the womb, potentially an egg that hasn't been fertilized yet. There's a lot of potential there for you to create many, many great things in your life with the sea serpent energy. And that's kind of what it's calling you to do. The ocean, right, is this huge, like all these depths. There's all the trenches and this big expanse of water, and there's like everything in it, all of it. So it's like you can have vast empty space of just nothing for a while. You have the shipwrecks at the bottom of the ocean. You have those beautiful coral reefs, all the deep trenches where sometimes we don't even know what's at the bottom of them. And then you get the really like nice, like where it meets the land, those pretty beaches, those cliff faces. That connection of the energy, the connection between the land and the water. So there's places there where it's like, okay, what can you start bringing back into the physical? What from those emotional depths, that deep ocean, can you bring up onto the land? Because the sea serpent can be on land and in water both, right? It'll live its life mostly in the water, being a sea serpent, but it can come up on land. And what can you bring back into your physical reality from the depths of the oceans? What in your emotions, after you've healed them and taken care of yourself, can you bring up out of yourself and back into your physical world that you can apply and show everyone around you? Just it's going to be a continuous process for you. The snake, again, biting its own tail. It's a constant evolution, constant cycle of life. So just look in your life for group number 4 for sea serpent, and where you can heal yourself and where you can keep growing and start being creative again. Start offering yourself more authentically to the world. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Hopefully that resonates. Feel free to pick another animal in this video. There's going to be more videos coming up of similar nature, so there's more animals to connect to, and this might just be the energy for you for today. Might be for you for the week or month or year, who knows. But whatever you feel called to do so, please feel free. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Hello, group number 5. So in case you didn't figure it out already, your card is the dolphin. So dolphins. Oh, dolphins were one of my favorite animals. So it went horses and then dolphins and then, horses, dolphins, and then wolves. So dolphins still have a very, very special place to me, hold a very special place in my heart. I wanted to work with dolphins when I was younger. Dolphins, very, very strong healing energy. So you yourself, probably with dolphin energy, have the capacity to heal, help others, really work at that emotional depth, because of course the dolphins live in the ocean, right? So they're mammals. They are as smart as we are, if not smarter, or at least they're very, very smart creatures. And live in the water, like their entire life takes place in the water. So very connected to that energy, those emotions, that deeper healing, that deeper like primordial knowledge there. So you yourself might have dolphin energy, so you might be a big healer. You are very connected spiritually. You might have a lot of spiritual gifts that you're able to use to help heal others, help show others the way potentially. Really strong with working with emotions, working with sound and energy, all those kinds of pieces there. If you are not like a healer type in your life, potentially, this dolphin energy might be a call for you to do so. Might be a higher calling for you to get into this energy. And dolphin asks us to really dig down deep into ourselves, to have a lot of care and patience and love with ourselves. That very strong healing energy. They are Again, really brilliant creatures, and they work very well in lots of aspects of their lives. So dolphins are very smart again, so they figure out new ways to hunt for food. They interact with humans a lot and can communicate actually quite well. We just don't have the ability to understand each other. So dolphins are very curious about humans and will play with humans and have fun. So you see them chasing after boats, showing off and jumping into the waves. So dolphin coming into your life might be a sign to connect deeper into your emotional self, connect deeper into that like ocean energy, those primordial energies there, and to work with healing in yourself, to work with like manifestation. So dolphins are very, very strong, like energetically, for bringing new things into the world. They are said to be potentially one of the like first species, if you believe for like starseed wise, that Syrian energy coming down is that dolphin energy there. And so they are great manifestors, have the great ability to manifest and create things. And that creation energy coming with their ability to create sound and communicate through sounds, that echolocation kind of energy through the clicks and stuff that they use when they're communicating in the ocean. And they might be showing you how to manifest new things in your life, how to do it properly, how to do it strongly, and do it amongst all the energy of creation, right? So you think about water and the ocean and all the depths and life that is in the ocean, trying to figure out, navigate all of that amongst everything else. Having all that water in your ears, how the water sound moves differently through water. And dolphin comes in this case to be like, okay, here's how to do it the proper way. Here's how to do it the smart way. Here's how to be flow with it, move with the ocean, move with that energy, and be able to create everything in your life that you want from that. So very, very strong energy there. It's a very playful energy too. So dolphin energy is really, really fun. Really focused at the same time. So I'm thinking the feelings I'm kind of getting, or it's like it's a playful focus, or it's like still having fun in everything you're doing while working really, really hard and creating your life, manifesting your life at the same time. So super fun energy. You have a lot to offer the world in terms of healing for those who picked this group. So again, that healing energy coming through, you have a lot to offer for helping others, helping show others the way, helping others create and manifest their dreams as well while you do it for yourself. And the ability to heal serves a lot of people, will serve you in a lot of ways, will serve others too, because the planet's hard. It's a hard place to live, right? So any chance we get to heal and keep ourselves strong and keep ourselves full of life and have that vitality and playfulness and fun is going to benefit everyone and go a long way in our lives. So group number 5, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that resonates. That dolphin energy is really fun and really playful, and hopefully you get more of that in your life if you don't have enough of it at this point. Feel free to pick another animal in this reading, or there's videos coming up that'll have a lot more. So maybe this is just the animal energy for today and you'll connect with a different one on another day, or it could be for your month or year. Who knows? It's up to you and your intuition. So but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 6. So in case you didn't figure out what your group is yet, your animal is the cheetah. So cheetah energy, when I think of the cheetah, it's a very distinct animal, right? Those spots, that coloring coming out. So when you see a cheetah in like a zoo or an environment outside of where their natural habitat is, they stand out quite a lot, right? However, in their natural habitat, that coloring those spots are actually very, very beneficial for them in their actual normal environment. They blend in, they are camouflaged, and it works really well for them in terms of hunting, because they are not seen until they are ready to run and pouncing right away. So also, when you think of the cheetah, you think of them being super, super fast. That running ability, being the fastest running mammal, I think, as far as I remember correctly. So in terms of cheetah energy, the cheetah spirit, that cheetah energy coming out, there's a lot of obviously movement and forward momentum there. The cheetah in this card specifically, in terms of the animal spirit deck, is a fire energy, a fire element, and it really talks about that passion for life, that movement forward, but not doing that until we actually know what we want to do. We have that passion, we have that purpose, because then we can go run full force at it, 150% in this case. So cheetah energy in terms of when it's not moving forward actually is a very kind of like docile, like shy energy. Cheetahs actually, if I remember correctly, have a problem with reproducing sometimes because they're such shy creatures. So it's a very interesting dichotomy there where it's like, okay, this is a super shy big cat that has trouble reproducing, but when you have it out in the wild and it's hunting into that like full force momentum when it's running super fast, just completely counters that energy. And it's an interesting dynamic there. So in terms of cheetah energy for you, group number 6, what this kind of advice coming out of this card is to like really figure out what your aim is, what your goal is, what direction you're trying to move forward in, because it's like, okay, you have to figure out your passion, your purpose, and once you know that, then you have that direction you're heading in, and you can go at it really fast. Maybe it doesn't necessarily need to be cheetah fast, but it's like, okay, you can move forward. And the energy of the cheetah is wanting that speed, wanting that momentum, wanting that forward progression there. So there might be something in your life where you're kind of just, you're playing it a little too safe. You're a little too shy about it. You maybe do know what you want to do with yourself, what you want to do with your life, and you haven't gone forward yet with it. So the cheetah energy, that what the spirit advice is coming out in this card is to run forward at full force. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you know what your end goal is, what your aim is, then you can run at it full force 150% again. So really kind of think of that energy there. And the energy for the cheetah and kind of that fire element is an element of creation as well. So it might be a call for you in this case to figure out what you want to do with yourself. If you know already, okay, cool, go full force for it. But if you don't yet, you don't want to be running at 150 miles an hour with no, I'm not sure what the top speed of a cheetah is. I'm just saying mileage, but you might be running full force at something and you don't know where you're going to end up, and you could get hurt. You could run into something you don't want to run into. You could end up in a place you don't want to end up. So having that purpose, having that goal, having that idea in mind, that bigger picture of where you're going and what you want to accomplish is super important. So if you don't have it yet, then this cheetah energy comes out for you to like really dig deep, figure it out, where that creation energy is, where that purpose is, what your passions for life are. And that's all that kind of coloring that's coming out in the card here, right? With that yellow and orange and red, that passion for life, that vitality, that fire, transformation, that creativity coming out. So really trying to figure out what that is in your life, because then once you figure it out, nail it down, you know what direction you're heading, then you can use this cheetah energy to its full advantage here and really go for it. Because it's very rare that anything actually outruns a cheetah. More so if it's something is not caught by a cheetah, it's because it was able to like dupe it and figure out a way around. But in just terms of straight up running, in terms of straight up going for the goal, nothing's going to outrun that cheetah energy. So that's the energy you want. So if you figure out what your aim is, what your goal is, then you can actually use this fully to its full extent, full advantage, and run forward and strongly and fast, and nothing's going to outrun you in this case. Nothing's going to catch up to you if you don't want it to, and you're going to catch up to whatever you want to catch up to. So don't feel like in terms of your goals, in terms of like age or something, that you don't have the time to accomplish the things you want to do. You do have that time because, again, this cheetah energy, you're going to catch up to anything. So something that you thought was going to take you 5 years to accomplish takes you 2. Something that you're like, oh, if I had started a year ago, I'd be this far ahead, but maybe it's the universe is going to let it flow to you really fast. This cheetah energy is a very fast moving energy, and it'll come to you sooner than you thought or expected or even thought possible. So for group number 6, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that resonates. Feel free to pick another animal in this video if you feel called to do so, or there's going to be more animal videos coming up down the line. So this might just be the energy for today. Could be for the week, for year, month, who knows. So but feel free to pick another one if you feel called to do so. But that is all I have for you today, group number 6. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 7. So in case you didn't figure it out already, your card is the crocodile. So crocodile energy is an interesting one. Crocodiles are actually wonderful, wonderful mothers. They're very, very protective of their young, their nests. They lay lots and lots of eggs, and they're very particular for the temperature that the eggs need to be at, guarding it, and making sure all those young are really well taken care of until they're able to take care of themselves. So strong mothering energy there for sure, strong caretaker energy in the crocodile card for you, group number 7. The crocodile, also when you think of the crocodile, so the crocodile is both a land and water animal. Very, very strong for the water, obviously. That's where it hunts and lives a lot of its life. But the energy is, the crocodile energy, spirit animal, like advice, kind of calls to like have your life situated, both like your material reality and your deeper emotional kind of spiritual reality at the same time, because they combine. The crocodile energy is very strong in case of both. And the crocodile, when you think of a crocodile hunting, you think of them like being very, very still in the water, right? Barely any movement there, is very like barely see any like of the nose out of the top or the nose bubbles coming out, and then all of a sudden that like spring into action, that like power coming out. Crocodile, oh my god, there's a lot of power behind the crocodile. This family, the crocodile and the alligator, they are this like living dinosaurs. They are still have been around for such a long time, and that shows the power and longevity of their species and the evolutionary process that the species has gone through. So think of that in terms of when you're moving forward. It's the crocodile energy is a very still energy up until it is pouncing on what it wants, up until it is attacking for what it wants and moving forward. But it's done very, very deliberately. So that the crocodile energy is asking you to like really be very still and focused on what you want. And once you know what you're wanting and what you know you're going to move forward into, power into it full force, 150% in this case. Really, really go strongly at it, because the crocodile is a very, very powerful hunter, very, very keen, and the intelligence in these creatures is very interesting too to think about. So crocodile energy, again, so be connected to that emotional depth and bring it into your physical reality. So that's crocodile bathing in the sun, hunting on land potentially too, right? So the crocodile like hunts in all manner of ways. It'll hunt on land if it needs to. It'll jump out of the water and catch birds out of the sky. It'll hunt in the water itself too. It takes every opportunity it can in order to feed and nourish itself, and that tying back in around to being that really strong mother figure, that really good caretaker energy there. So crocodile is a very interesting one. It's a really fun energy to interact with. So for you, for crocodile energy, if you don't feel like you have enough crocodile energy in your life, again, you're getting called to to look at yourself in a deeper way, those deeper emotions, that deeper spiritual energy here, and really kind of figure out what you want and what your aim and your goal is, in terms of like building up a family, a life, a career, potentially, relationships, any of those pieces there. Really figure out what your goal is and what your aim is, and go inside yourself and really activate that stillness, so you can hear that kind of more inner voice there. Because once you get that stillness there, you are really calm and quiet and peaceful. Those answers will be revealed to you, that what your bigger goal is, what the bigger picture is. You'll figure it out there, and then you can use all this power of the crocodile that's coiled up super, super tight, and you can just spring forward with a lot of strength and ferocity there. The crocodile too, it's like the amount of power in that jaw alone is crazy, crazy, crazy. So you as a crocodile energy, potentially here, group number 7, you have so much power, maybe even more than you realize. So the point though is to figure out how to channel it in the right way, how to move forward and hunt properly, so that way you can achieve what you want to achieve and keep yourself fed and nourished and taken care of. So whether or not that ends up being in the long run for a family situation, for a home and a life and all those pieces, just to really figure out what those goals are, so you can channel this power and energy you have in the right way and move forward in with proper strength and veracity into something that's going to help you and benefit you. So the crocodile is able to do that because it's connected to both the water and the land, and living its life in both of those arenas. So just really be very centered in yourself, really figure out what's going on with yourself so you can channel all this power that you have. Okay, group number 7. So that's all I have for you in terms of crocodile energy. Please feel free to pick another animal in this reading. There's going to be more readings coming up that you can pick more. It might just be the energy, animal spirit energy you're connecting to for today. It might be for the year, month, week, who knows. That's going to be up to you and your intuition, but feel free to pick more if you decide you need to. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group number 8, the owl group. So I had a feeling the owl was going to come out in this video specifically. I don't know why, but owls are very interesting creatures. They are very highly like adaptive to their environment. So you think of all the different kinds of owls. There are snowy owl, barn owl, screech owl, all these different kinds of owls that are very well situated to the environment that they live in and are able to adapt to that. Very strong hunters, keen eyesight. So the ability of an owl to just like swoop in and grab like a mouse out of the field at night with barely a sound, that's crazy and intense energy there. But the owl is such a strong figure in terms of wisdom and seeing, foresight, that kind of clairvoyant energy there. So owl coming into your life might be, you yourself might be that kind of owl energy where you're very perceptive of things. You are very aware of what's going on around yourself. You have this very keen, discerning eye for things. You see things that other people might not see in terms of like that seeing in the dark potentially, right? And this provides a lot of benefit to you in terms of like being able to like hunt down a meal in this case, right? Or it's like, okay, you can go for your goals a little bit easier because you have this bigger picture, this bigger foresight, this bigger knowledge and wisdom at your disposal with your ability to see things that others do not. But if you don't have this owl energy in your life, it's probably a call to like really try and develop that ability, that wisdom and that knowledge, being able to see things. You think of the vision I'm kind of getting in my head is from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I think it's an owl that's the guardian of the library, if I remember correctly. So again, all that wisdom there. So where you in your life can find more wisdom, can develop more wisdom, develop this keener eyesight, this keener ability to see things that others do not see. It's like really have a discerning eye over your life and those really small details, because they do matter in terms of manifestation and growing and learning in this crazy thing we call life. Those little details do matter and are important potentially. So go back over your life kind of with that fine-tooth comb, whatever situation you're in potentially right now that is confusing you. Break it down into those really tiny pieces, those words that are said, those little actions, things that you thought didn't matter at the time, and maybe there's more threads or those are tying into bigger things that you didn't quite realize. So use this owl energy, this clairvoyancy, this ability to see, to really dissect and hunt down what might be causing a little bit of issue in your life here. That owl's a great hunter, and once it captures its prey, it's that there's a little bit of brutality there potentially for pulling things apart and what it's eating, and in order to sustain itself. So very strong hunter energy here. So maybe there's that you need to hunt down something in your life that's not going quite right at the moment. Owl at the same time is like super peaceful, right? It's doing things in the quiet of the night, those wings moving very silently. So as you're moving forward in this energy and trying to figure out what's going on with your life, do so quietly and calmly, and it's not quite sneaky. It's not a sneaky energy, but it's an energy without like disturbing anything. I picture like the water barely rippling or barely moving as that owl flies overhead, because that's how silent those wings are, and that's how silent the owl moves through the air as it's hunting at nighttime. So just do things very calmly, very methodically, very well thought out with a lot of wisdom, and quietly, because it's like, okay, you're figuring out your business, you're figuring out what's happening right now, using this owl discerning eye to figure out those next steps. So nobody needs to be in your business. Nobody needs to be all up in your business. So figure out how to move forward in that energy here, group number 8. I think also for the owl, it's just there's something that quietness and stillness also comes in with the camouflage they have, blending in with the trees, with the snow, with the ground, like whatever environment that they're in, they are able to blend in because they are built for that environment. And you as well are built for the environment that you're in, so you are primed and ready and able to be a part of your world and sustain yourself and live your life to the greatest extent because of all this owl energy that is present for you. So just be really, really detail oriented. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Really dive into those details, dissect everything down, look at everything with a very keen, discerning eye, and you'll figure out what you need to do next and move forward from there and keep hunting and going forward. So group number 8, hopefully that makes sense to you. Feel free to pick another animal in this reading if you feel called to do so. This might just be the energy of today or the week or the month or the year. Who knows? That's up to you and your intuition. But there'll be more animal videos coming up shortly as well, so you can really dive into more animal energy if you feel the need to do so. But that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this video resonated with you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group number 9, my Firefly group. So, Firefly is a fun one. I haven't gotten this card myself personally when working with this deck, but Firefly energy is really talking about that spark of inspiration here. So maybe you have an idea that you just recently came up with that you're super excited about, that you're super passionate about, that you're just really vibrating with so much energy, and you're just ready to jump into it, or this moment's coming for you potentially. So with Firefly and that spark, it's actually kind of a very fleeting energy at the same time. It's an energy that can go out very, very fast if we don't catch it and take advantage of it as it's coming. So you think of the fireflies out in nature, and I remember when I was young, I saw fireflies for the first time. I think it was in Nebraska, and I was probably about 7 or 8, and it's just funny because it's one of those things you see in movies or TV shows or something, and you don't know that's actually a real thing until you experience it for the first time. But fireflies, it's just they flash and gone, and flash and gone, and another one flashes and gone over here. So those moments are, again, it's that very fleeting feeling at the same time, but there's a lot of power, and it's kind of like a lightning strike is kind of what it feels like, the Firefly energy. It's like a lightning strike where it's bam, hits and it's gone. So it's very, very hard to capture lightning in a bottle. It's a little easier to catch a firefly potentially, but that light's not always shining, so we have to really take advantage of it as it hits and then that moment that it's coming. So if you have this firefly moment right now in your life, if you're connecting to this firefly energy and you have this brilliance, it's you need to act on it. You need to move forward and act on it while it's still here, while you still have it. This chance that you have at the moment, that thing where you're scared to do it, that you're oh, should I do this? But what about this? What about this? And it's you feel deep in your heart, your intuition, that it's this is your chance, this is your moment, you need to do it. That's me telling you this is firefly energy right now. It's you need to do it. You need to take advantage of it, because it's not gonna last, and it might come back around, it might not. You don't want to rely on that potentially, because it might not come back, and you want to be able to take advantage while you can, because the moment won't last. So if you take advantage of this spark of inspiration that's there, this moment to shine, potentially to jump into something that's really scary, but you really want to do it, then you need to do it. 100%, 100, 110, 15, 50, whatever percent, you need to take advantage of it and do it, okay? So for those of you that this moment hasn't come yet, it feels like it's there. So that the night's falling, we're getting into that evening time right now, and then those fireflies are going to start lighting up. So you need to be prepared to potentially start to grab for this energy as it's coming and try and capture that lightning in the bottle here. So there's a lot you can do to prepare yourself. So there's a lot of internal work you can do for making sure that you are controlling your fears, working despite your fears that you have. If there's something that's blocking you through fear, then you work through that process and heal that, so that way it's not going to block you anymore. So that way, once this firefly moment does come around, then you have the ability to capture it and ride it out and take advantage of it. So just really trying to think of that. There's, you look at the card here itself, right? And there's so much color, a lot of yellow, obviously. So that's that ego, that sun shining, that power, that solar energy all coming through. But there's like rays of other color in there as well. So there's so much vitality and energy and wonder to see here with the firefly card and the fireflies in general. It's a very special moment if you when you see them for the first time. It's still something that sticks out in my mind even now, 10, 20, however many years later at this point. So just be ready. It's a beautiful moment, so you have to capture it and take full advantage of it and really live it and feel it deep into yourself and deep into your soul, because it's something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. If you take advantage of the moment, it's something that you're going to have benefit you for the rest of your life, right? So think in terms of maybe you're trying to blow up on TikTok or YouTube or something, or you have the ability to join a prestigious company of some sort in some type of performing art, or you want to audition for that play, so something like that. There's something in your here where it's like, okay, hey, if I do, like, there's so much potential in this one little thing, this one little moment here. And sometimes all you need is one moment. Sometimes all you need is like that instant, that little spark there, and then it becomes this beautiful, huge fire, beautiful, grand thing, all this creation, all this ability and talent, and it's just fun. There's a lot of fun energy here, that potential, that spark of inspiration there. So there's a lot here for you, group number 9, and I hope you take full advantage of it. I hope you see the moment for when it comes, see the opportunity that is presenting itself to you or has presented itself to you, and I hope you go for it 100% here, because it's going to pan out for you in so many good ways, in terms of success and money potentially, recognition, all these ways. Something like this spark of potential here will benefit you in a lot of ways coming up here in your life. So when you see that moment, it's your moment. Do it, take advantage of it, and do it, okay? So group number 9, Firefly group, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this resonates with you. This might just be the energy of the moment, right? This animal energy that you're connecting to for the day. So feel free to come back to this video, interact with another animal. There's going to be more videos down the line, so more animals to interact with. And again, this energy might be for the day, the week, the month, the year, who knows? That's up to you and your intuition. So just feel it out, and so hopefully that made sense to you. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 10. So in case you didn't figure it out yet, your animal is the dragon. Oh, well, so much energy in this card. Obviously, dragon is more of a mythical creature. There is lots to say in terms of dragon mythology and lore across the entire world. It's thought that dragons maybe did exist at some point, or the skeletons that we find of dinosaurs were thought to be those dragons. Dragons feature very, very heavily in lots of cultures and lots of stories over millennia. So talking about dragon energy here and dragon spirit energy, there is a lot of power there, a lot of history, a lot of weight to dragon energy. The dragon is, of course, a massive, massive creature. Usually you think of the flying dragons, you think of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, you think of the ones in stories in lots of Asian cultures. There's like so much dragon energy. Game of Thrones, you see dragons everywhere. Dragons come in varieties too. There's lots of different varieties. There's ones that live in the ocean, there's ones that fly in the air, there's ones that live on land. Lots different kinds and types of dragons, lots of colors. This card particularly is really cool because we get all that like kind of rainbow coming out. And dragons, well, they vary in their depictions, right? Some can be very mean and aggressive. Dragons are always powerful, though. So dragon is not somebody you want to get on the wrong side of for sure, but they can be very nurturing and kind of have that more, I think of like crocodiles. I just talked about it in another group, actually, crocodiles, and take a really good care of their young at the same time. So that dragon energy kind of coming through there as well. Dragon energy in this case, though, for you, for this group here, group number 10, is there's a lot of fire and passion inside of you here. There's a lot of power, and it's a matter of finding the true authentic self of that version of you, right? This is this true consciousness, this true spirit, that depth of spirit, the energy and the being that is you, that is expressed through you, the thinker, the thinker of the thoughts, or the recognition of the thoughts versus the thinker of the thoughts. It's kind of that like consciousness, that type of energy, and that a type of awareness and ability here. Dragon is the keen eye of the dragon is very kind of scary, honestly, sometimes. The images I get in my head are like usually from the movies. I think it's like Smaug in the Hobbit series, where it's like, okay, the dragon's asleep, right? And then all of a sudden you just see the dragon eye open, and there's a lot of fear there, but there's the intelligence of the creature at the same time. So a lot of strength and the wisdom the dragon also has. There's the power in the dragon comes from multiple avenues, in terms of the knowledge and the wisdom that the dragon has, the sheer force and power for its size, and then also like a lot of them breathe fire or have some other magic to them. So in like the game Skyrim, right, or Game of Thrones, where it's like, okay, there's dragons that breathe fire and dragons that breathe ice, and that kind of like ice fire, there's differences there in the magic and the abilities that they have, but also at the same time that power and ferociousness and sheer force. There's just a lot of force and power. I think of the sun anytime I think of a dragon. That sheer like ego and life force and all that energy is there. It's just like it feels massive. And the dragon, with being more of a mythical creature, the association and energy is almost bigger because there's all these stories and legends about them at the same time. So dragon energy coming to you now for advice is to just getting to the core of who you are, really being strong in yourself and having that self-confidence. With it coming out in this card specifically, it's connected to the solar plexus chakra. So that self-confidence, that power, that ego, but in a good way, that confidence versus cockiness. So dragon's calling you to really show your authentic self, really be strong in yourself, and show that to the world, and have that power and vitality and energy in everything that you do. Bring that energy into every single aspect of your life, every little piece. Driving your car, do it with lots of magic and energy and power, but power in a good way in this case. So it's controlled power, controlled confidence, controlled chaos. So a lot of energy here for you, group number 10. So dragon's a fun card. I'm excited for you. You're a very strong personality. So use that to your advantage, use that in the proper way, and you'll go very, very far in life and be able to do a lot of things with that energy, okay? But group number 10, our dragon card here, that's all I have for you today. Feel free to pick another animal in this reading. There's going to be more readings coming up with more animal energy. This might just be the energy of today, the week, the month, the year, who knows? That's up to you and your intuition. So connect with that at a deeper level and figure out what's right for you if you need to connect with more animal energy. But that's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. Hello, group number 11. So in case you didn't figure it out yet, your animal spirit is the earthworm. So not a fun one, not a nice looking one for sure. But the earthworm does have a lot of good energy that I'll talk to you about here. So earthworm energy, in terms of this deck specifically, it's talking about being new to some type of experience, being very fresh and just starting out in a new field, maybe in a new hobby, something you haven't done before. So kind of that like newbie energy where it's just like, okay, you're trying to figure it out, right? So something to keep in mind with this earthworm energy here is that as you're like everybody starts new to things. You don't know something right away coming in. So some people have some natural talent for things, of course, right? But it's like singers can always develop their voice further. You're always starting from scratch. We don't know how to talk when we're born. We don't know how to walk, crawl, and any of that. We just learn that over time. And that's a really good energy to keep having as you grow older, and is to try new things and start new things, because you're going to keep challenging yourself. You're going to give yourself more opportunities to grow and expand your horizons, because if you're a person that is willing to try new things, is willing to feel a little embarrassed here and there sometimes because you just don't know something, but you're learning it, a year from now in that particular hobby, you're going to be so far by comparison. If you're just willing to be like, hey, I'm not good at it. I'm learning, I'm progressing, I'm getting better at it. And you can look back at how you started and be like, wow, I came so far. But versus some people being too scared to start something new, not starting at all, right? They're not going to ever get better at it, or they're never going to learn that thing they want to learn if they don't start at it. You have to start fresh and start with that like new energy where it's like, okay, I know nothing, and be willing to be a little bit embarrassed sometimes for it. And that's not a bad thing. Earthworm energy also reminds me, it's kind of a more slow moving energy in that case. It's definitely, and there's a regeneration quality to earthworm energy to me, where it's like, okay, an earthworm's pretty resilient actually. So it's like they're fragile in some ways, but really resilient in others. And that's kind of what that reminds me of, where it's like, okay, they're, despite not having the same abilities to see and interact with the world that we're used to with other animals, they still know what's going on, know what they need to do, process their environment, work through their environment. They get actually pretty far in the dirt without you realizing it. I remember hunting for worms when I was little, and you'd catch one or whatever, catch the tail end of it, and if you missed it that first time, and then it'd be gone because they moved that fast through the dirt at that point. So earthworm energy to me is a kind of a slow moving energy, because it's just like that inching your way through, but there's also a different kind of perception there, a different kind of interaction with your environment that you have potentially that's different than other people. So that's something to embrace, something to work with and interact with, where it's like, okay, hey, I see the world in a very unique way. My way that I do things is maybe a little bit slower than other people, but it is unique and wholly my own and completely different. And the perspective you have, group number 11 here with this earthworm energy, is very unique and very much needed in the world compared to the way the rest of the world sees things. So something to keep in mind for that. And again, that advice coming through is to just be willing to be part of this energy, be willing to be new at something, be very slow moving in it, but as you work through that, and you'll progress over time and get better and better. So for example, right, so maybe you want to start drawing potentially. It's like, okay, you've never drawn anything in your life, or maybe besides elementary school when you were young and they had you in art class, you've never done anything past that, and you want to get really good at charcoal drawings, popping in my head for some reason here. So you want to get really, really good at charcoal drawing, but you've never done anything before. So it's like, okay, how can you start? How can you get started in that energy? So you watch a couple YouTube videos, you get your first little sketch pad and a small little charcoal set, and just play with it and start messing with it, and then figure out ways to keep learning in that hobby and that skill set. Maybe read a book about it, find a specific class. There's tons of classes on YouTube, and like Skillshare, other like websites like that. There's so many options and ways to connect with this energy and grow the skill set you're trying to do from the start. So whatever you're interested in, group number 11, that you haven't thought of before, like thoughts was going to be too hard to learn before, just start. Because again, in 3 months, 6 months, nine to a year, 2 years down the line, you're going to be so much further than you ever even thought possible, because you are dedicated to that hobby and want to keep growing it. But you have to be willing to be new and a little embarrassed and a little flustered here and there sometimes as you get through that progress and build up that progress over time. So group number 11, hopefully that makes sense to you. Earthworm energy is not a like pretty energy. Like it's not like a pretty animal versus like a lion or something like that, but it does have its place and its purpose, and it's a good energy to be in overall. So because you're going to start something new and something fun and grow it over time. So hopefully that resonated with you. Hopefully that made sense. Please feel free to pick another animal in this reading. There'll be more videos coming up down the line that'll have more animals and different animal spirit energy you can connect with. This might have just been the energy for today or for the week or maybe the month or year. Who knows? That's up to you and your intuition. So hopefully you connected with this though, and that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, group number 12, the final group, the Dragonfly group. So Dragonfly energy is, I had a lot of Dragonfly energy probably about like 3 or 4 years ago. It was a very interesting energy. In one of my other decks, the Earth Magic deck, I just kept getting it over and over and over again. It kept showing up, and it was just very interesting because Dragonfly energy, there's a lot of like light and color involved in it. Dragonflies are very heavily associated with fairies a lot of the time. It's thought sometimes that fairies are dragonflies in kind of a more physical regular animal form, just to kind of stay hidden. Dragonflies are associated with both the air and the water, so there's that aspect of the mentalness, mental clarity, the mind because of the air that they fly through, and then the water element coming in because they start their lives in the water as in their developmental stage. They start in the water and grow in the water for a really long time before they come into this dragonflyness. So they're very connected to both the emotion and the mental at the same time, and combining it all really, really well together. The emotional state, that like beginning stage for a dragonfly, is usually about 2 years, and you might be at that stage in your life too, where it's like it just feels like these. And I'm speaking from experience here, where these just 2 years, whatever 2 years you're in, just felt like they were real stagnant. They like you weren't going anywhere. You were trying to grow. There wasn't anything you could do. And now with this dragonfly energy showing up for you, you're coming out of that stage into a full-fledged dragonfly. Everything's shifting and changing and growing, and there's all this light and energy and movement now. So that might be potentially where you're at with this energy group number 12, and where that spirit advice is coming in for Dragonfly for you. So just something to keep in mind there. Otherwise, Dragonfly energy, again, very connected to the mind and the emotions. So there might be one of those places where you're struggling a little bit, where you'll have to get into your emotions, figure out kind of what's going on there, and process it with the your mental capacity, and making sure everything is balanced and evened out here for you. Because Dragonfly energy is really just about like that kind of like solar light feeling. The dragonflies themselves are not like colored. It's the way the light is reflected off of their scaling, and like that color will change over time potentially because of how the light is interacting with them and how they're interacting with the light on their scales there. Dragonflies, really interesting creatures too, because it's like, okay, they have those big 2 sets of wings. They can just use one to fly if they need to. Something's damaged or hurt. They are very strong hunters in terms of other insects. It's a surprising little fact actually for them, where it's like, okay, you wouldn't think a dragonfly is a good hunter, but they are, and they've been around a really long time. They're a very resilient species, and you'll frequently just find them around the water. I'm lucky enough to live by a lake pretty close right here across the street from me, and I see dragonflies pretty frequently around our house, and they're really cool to see, because they'll just come and hang out for a second, and you'll catch them and you'll see them, and you're just like, oh hey, what you doing? What's going on? Because you just get that little glimpse of them out of the corner of your eye, because they're reflecting all that light and color back. So a really fun, interesting in that regard. Dragonfly energy for you, group number 12. It feels like in terms of like mental state, there might be a little bit of restlessness there. You think about that dragonfly and the amount of speed and fluttering and movement that they do around, and they move really, really fast. So unless you are very controlled mentally, then you might feel a little bit like out of sorts right now. So that might be something to kind of look into right now, getting into a little bit of meditation, ways to like relax yourself, just to calm your mental state down, so that way you can just be nice and even and still again, and capture that stillness, that more water, calm energy that the dragonfly does have as well. So something to look into there. Emotions, just make sure you're staying really, really well connected with your emotions and knowing what's going on with yourself. because sometimes that turbulent internal emotions is what leads to turbulent mind as well. So keep that in mind there for you, group number 12, for dragonfly energy. Otherwise, just try and figure out ways to keep reflecting light and energy, and figure out what makes you glow from the inside out, so that way you just have so much light and energy to give out into the rest of the world. There's a lot you can do with that kind of energy, and ways to benefit yourself and a lot of others as well. Dragonfly's an energy you do want to be around. So if you coming out with this energy here, it's like, okay, hey, be this energy that people want to be around. So you being steady in yourself and your emotional mental state, you're just going to be able to keep offering it and keep bringing good things to yourself and others around you, all your loved ones. And it just makes me happy. The feeling just kind of makes me happy. So hopefully that resonates with you. Hopefully that makes sense for you, group number 12 here. The dragonfly energy might just be the energy for today or for the week potentially, or month or year, depending on you and kind of what your intuition says. Just keep really in tune with that. There are more animals you can pick in this group, or in this video itself, or in another video for coming up in the future potentially. So just keep connecting to animal energy, see what feels good to you. That's all I have for you today, though. I hope this video resonated with you and made sense, and have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.